Hi everybody, I'm Bruce, and in this video I'll introduce the role-playing game that I've been developing for the last several years. I've named this tabletop RPG Masters and Legends. This is a bit of a pun on those who play the game master who adjudicates the game, and the legendary characters who the story revolves around. So first up, here is a draft mock-up of the front cover, and it has some great art purchased from DriveThru in the developers section. This layout is reminiscent of older school style role-playing systems from the 80s and 90s, which I really like a lot, but obviously some of this might change. I've skipped a few pages, but inside the core rulebook, the style incorporates many black and white pictures with future documents to incorporate more color to help distinguish between the different books. The books are planned to be A4 size softcover documents, however I might investigate some hardcover as well. One of the reasons for this soft cover, almost pamphlet style of book is that one of my core goals with this system is to create a concise book that gets to the point. Instead of having a large book with hundreds of pages, the aim is to remove non-essential things from the books people are using regularly. For example, in many rule books, they include detailed walkthrough instructions on how to play, but after you've played a few times, you almost never need to read this section again. So I aim to pull these details out into a concise, easy to use separate document. So when you first start playing, you might go through the walkthrough, but after you've learnt to play, you can put that to the side. You still have as a reference, but it's not a bunch of extra pages in the core rule book that you're trying to use every game. You can see in this sample I have an introductory section and then a section on game concepts to help explain the meanings of words used in the game. This can help with understanding the role-playing jargon that's often used. So next I jump into the draft game flowchart, which I've created as a guide for gameplay. The plan is to have this on the inside cover so it's easy to find. You can see that it's going to include page references to help find important information. The system is skills-based and it's structured around the use of 10-sided dice. And each character and monster in the game has 10 life points and 10 fatigue points. Essentially, different weapons will do different types of damage. So if you do subdual damage to an opponent's fatigue points, then you can knock an opponent out. But if you do physical damage, then you can kill the opponent. But once someone's knocked out, then any further damage would be physical damage. There's a range of rules that I'll go over in the core rule system. So starting at the top of the flowchart, the session begins. Everybody arrives and gets ready to play. From there, the players all roll a reaction order to determine what order each player goes in, and the game master goes first from there. First off, the game master describes what's happening, what the scenario is, and then they determine if tracking is required, and that's normally for when they're in combat or so forth. From there, the players describe what they're going to do, and the game master then relates what the outcome of those events are. Now you can see here in the flowchart, that's sort of the normal gameplay, or what occurs during most of the game session. However, the game master may require rolls during the normal gameplay for certain things, traveling or events that occur. However, at some point the game master may determine that tracking is required. From there, all the players roll a reaction score to determine their action economy, and that's how many turns each actor is going to have. From there, they confirm if anybody's surprised, then the round begins. So first up, in order, each player or actor takes their turn. The game master determines if any special conditions or events occur and describes what those outcomes might be. From there, the actor whose turn it is declares if they're going to move. If they are going to move, this is an opportunity for any close opponents potentially to intercept them. If there's no one going to intercept them, then the actor moves as they declared. However, if they determine that there is an opponent they are going to try to intercept, they will roll a melee attack roll to try and intercept the moving actor, and the moving actor gets a chance to oppose that interception. From there, they determine if an actor is intercepted. If they're not intercepted, then they're able to move as normal, but if they are, then they proceed to special conditions, and the game master determines if anything's happened. Perhaps they've fallen through a trapdoor or something like that. Also, an actor may declare they don't want to move, and they may go directly to taking their action. There are a range of different actions that an actor may take. You can see we've got meal or ranged attack. There are other, something not described in the rules, or a unique situation. They might declare to use a skill or cast a spell, or they may choose to delay to later in the round. If they do choose to delay, then it immediately proceeds to the next actor's turn. From there, perhaps the actor might choose to do an attack, a ranged or melee attack. They declare their target, the GM determines the target number, they roll for an attack, and then we determine do they hit or not. If they do hit, the target declares their current life points or fatigue points, and the attacking actor then rolls for damage against those life points or fatigue points. From there, the game master then determines is tracking still required. So if tracking is still required, if the actor has any further move allowance, they're able to move at this point, and this is another opportunity for an intercept or any special conditions to occur. From there, the actor, if they are able to take another action, may declare what that action is. So from here, perhaps they declare something unique. The game master then describes what's the outcome, and after that the game master determines is tracking still required. If the actor doesn't have any further actions and their turn is over, then it proceeds to the next actor's turn. From there, that actor might declare that they're going to use a skill. They declare their intended outcome. The GM determines the target number, they roll their skill test, and the GM describes the outcome. And from there, the GM determines is tracking still required. From there, we determine if they don't have any further actions they can take, and everyone's had a turn this round. From there, the next round starts. So you can see following through this, on the next round, perhaps the actor declares they're going to cast a spell. The actor declares the target. They declare the skill and connection rating going to be used for the spell. The GM determines the target number, and from there, the magic roll skill test versus the target number is rolled. Then, depending on what type of spell it is, if it's an attack spell, they determine if the caster hit. If they did, the target declares their current life or fatigue points. Then the caster rolls for damage against the life or fatigue points declared. Now, depending on the spell test roll or a number of other conditions, the caster may be subjected to connection burn. Now, for other types of spells, the game master describes what the outcome of a successful spell or a failed spell might be. From there, it again leads to connection burn. First, we roll to hit the caster against their spell dodge, and from there we determine is the caster hit. If the caster is hit, they declare their current life points, and they then roll against themselves against their own life points. If they're not hit, or if any of the other outcomes occur, the game master then determines is tracking still required, and in this case, if it's not, then tracking ends. From there, the flowchart proceeds back up to normal play, where the game master describes what's happening and players proceed to take turns. So thanks very much for watching through the flowchart. If you've got any comments or would like to make any suggestions, please let me know. Thank you.